Dakota, do an intro. I don't remember how to do one.
What the fuck do I have to be the one to do this?
Hey,
It's like every
we
single
we haven't
one.
done a quarter combo in a long time, and we technically only did we did two, but we only posted one. We should do another one, and I think now is a good opportunity because Tekken 8 is getting some interesting stuff in a few days with Heihachi coming out. We're the 26th right now. I think he's coming out what, the 30th, and then on like the third for everyone. Uh, and it's a good time because finally we convinced Devin to pick up Tekken for the first time.
That's right.
We have a
That's right. I've been playing it.
he's been playing it, so I think we have a lot of interesting things that we could potentially talk about in a podcast format. Um, for context, I've been playing Tekken for like consistently for about a year, I think. I played it very on and off for a long time. I didn't really like it because I kept playing characters that I didn't want to play. Because I was like, oh my god, I should play like a basic character to get a basic understanding. But then I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna play Steve Fox, and then I finally started liking the game. Dakota, when did you start picking up Tekken? I don't even remember.
Well, you recommended it to me, remember?
No, that's why I asked.
I'd say it was
That
probably
makes
like the
a lot of
last 2 months or so of Tekken 7.
It was nearing the end of Tekken 7
No,
as well.
so
I don't
I
know if it was last two
remember
months, but
no. It was I think it was the start of 2022. Yeah.
Really?
Nick, you recommended Tekken to me. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm broke as shit right now. End of semesters, I don't have time for that shit. And you just sent me the game. Like you bought it for me.
oh shit. I didn't realize
Yeah.
I was
So
I didn't realize I was gonna torture you that way.
Sponsor no general.
And that so yeah, so then you picked up Tekken, and then Devin, you only recently started picking up Tekken, in
Well,
which
I, I
3D fighting games at all. So
let's
in
be
a week. He's been
super
playing for a
fair.
week.
Let's be super fair.
uh,
I didn't think I would like Tekken 7, and then I tried it out, playing the one character I thought seemed like somewhat interesting or fun to me, and then I didn't like it.
mm,
And then someone else told me to pick a different character, and then I tried him out, and then I also didn't like the game still. So then I wasn't interested in playing Tekken because it just didn't feel right until now, where you guys are forcing me to play Tekken again because you think I'd like it for some reason.
yes,
And so I found a character who I thought looked their combos look fun, and now I think their combos are fun. So I'm spending more than 2 minutes on it.
huge. Um, how long has Tekken 8 been out? It came out what, in February, so probably like
No,
Yeah, I think
it
it was
was the
late
end of
January or
January.
February.
The 28th of January.
Yeah.
that was my birthday. Then it came out on my birthday.
No, wasn't it like
Well,
a
it's
day
when
off
I
or
gave
whatever?
It
birth
was like a
to
day
and
off. It was
Transformers
like the
my birthday.
27th or the 29th of January. I think it was the
Yeah.
27th because I remember wanting to play Tekken on my birthday, but having like birthday things to do with your birthday because I don't remember exactly what. But just I can remember sitting there and being like, "Damn,
Yeah.
I wish I was playing Tekken right now."
I mean, that was the first game where I skipped a whole day of school. Classic game, new game comes out, call in
Yeah.
sick for work. I just didn't
Huge.
show up to class that day. Yeah, no, it actually really fucked me over. Turns out we learned something that was pretty high technical. Then we had like an assignment, so I kind of fucked myself in the ass there.
Yeah,
But
so I just looked it up. It was the 26th. It was
I
it
see.
fuck,
was it was like right before.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and part of the reason that's part of the reason why I didn't start playing it was because like that same week was Uni 2.
Oh
I
right.
Yeah, it was
oh
the
shit,
22nd was Uni 2. So I'm a big Uni fan. I'm like, oh my god, Uni's so sick. But I never got to play it too much because I didn't have many locals and the fucking not rollback sucked. So I didn't bother with it. I played the game that I liked more, Dragon Ball, and the game I could play locally, Smash. And then Guilty Gear and shit came out, so I played those because I could play them online. But when Uni 2
I
came
also
out, I was
remember you
like, fuck yeah,
saying you
let's run
don't
on
give a
that.
fuck about Tekken.
Yeah, and I also didn't give a fuck about Tekken, so I was like, fucking, I'll play the game I want to play.
Easy choice for you, yeah.
Yeah, easy choice. Same kind of deal though. They both have the same kind of experience. Like Tekken, like it has a few different unique mechanics between the games, but it's mostly like keep all the same moves. Whereas Uni 2 is basically just Uni 1 with a fresh coat of paint.
Yeah, I still haven't played. I've been wanting to.
Really, they had multiple DLC characters come out, dude.
I know.
The
I
fuck?
gotta play it. I gotta play it.
But it's like
When?
they have the Melty Blood shit where like it's all free DLC.
I think my
Oh.
problem, and it was the same with you with Tekken 7, is I just don't have a character that I vibe with.
Yeah.
I liked Enkidu, but he kind of sucked, so I didn't like that. And then the rest of the cast just didn't interest me as much. But I've been wanting to go back. What's
Yeah.
the samurai lady's name? She's the one who I might.
Yuzu. Yeah, Yuzuriha.
She's the one who I'd probably go back to. Regardless, Tekken is an interesting game, and I feel like we all have fairly different experiences with it. But the main thing that we all have in common is we all came from the same like background of games. Like we all played like Street Fighter and Dragon Ball and all that shit before we got into Tekken. And
Don't be a pussy. Admit it. Smash Brothers. That's right.
Yeah.
all right. I wasn't gonna
It's
say
the
it.
Smash Brothers to
Don't
actual
fucking
real video
tiptoe
game
around it.
pipeline.
That's where every child starts.
I mean, Devin, you were just playing it, so I don't know if you're the first one to ask, but what do you guys think of Tekken compared to other fighting games? Or I guess the actual question is like 3D fighters compared to 2D fighters. How's that? What's the feeling that you guys got on that?
I've never played another 3D fighter apart from Facebreaker, which was that terrible fucking boxing game.
Oh my, yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Do you remember me showing it to you? How fucking terrible! Actually, I think it gave my computer a virus.
I had to look up footage. I had to look up footage for it. Laugh for the
Yeah.
last time, and I was like, "What kind of goofy ass game is this?"
Hey
It's
man,
peak.
it was like 2008, and it only lasted like 6 months, and they pulled it. It was terrible.
Okay, well, dude, like I was saying earlier, it took me so goddamn long to actually get into Tekken because, like, especially like I think the main thing that kind of, at least is intimidating for players coming from a 2D game to a 3D game, it's the movement and the move list. For some reason, it's not even like Virtual. I mean, I can't say this. I haven't played like Soul Calibur or whatever, but like for Virtual Fighter and Tekken, their move lists are so much bigger than typical games, and you don't really have like special moves. You might have moves that are like better or like more like impactful, but they don't really feel like special moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like in Street Fighter, you have the dedicated special move list. You don't really got
Yeah.
that with Tekken.
I think that's something that like Tekken has. It just as fundamentally treats different, right? It's like where you have command normals that are like a specific kind of button that they'll put in the special move list in like Street Fighter. In Tekken, they just also put normals and command normals and specials all in the same list, and like it looks a lot more intimidating than it actually is. And then they'll have a bunch of moves that they just seem fun. They don't really provide super crazy utility. They're either really like they're really fucking situational, or they're just plainly not useful in a troll move. But
The what is it? The unblockable moves for every character is a good example of that.
They'll have a lot of moves that just don't really fucking matter.
And half of Yoshimitsu's kit, I think.
Probably. But like, what if you want to troll and use that fucking suicide button?
Yeah.
Right?
You got
Well, you say troll, but it can kind of work sometimes if you get
Wall splatted. I've been wall splatted by a few Yoshimitsus, and they just fucking stab themselves to kill me. I'm like, why would?
Yeah,
Why
but
did
that's
that
like
fucking
that's still a
work?
troll. You know what I mean?
It's still kind of the point of
Well,
like.
honestly, it killed, and I was thinking to myself, it's like I don't know if you really could have killed me there apart from just doing that move,
Maybe.
because it does a lot of damage.
Regardless, it still sort of plays in the idea that Tekken has moves that range everywhere from like incredibly useful, use almost all the time moves like Reina Ford Ford 2, uh Mishima Electric period, all the way like and then in the middle you have moves I use sometimes but might be more situational whatever, all the way to the other end where it's like you were saying Dev, like troll moves and actually useless 99% of the time moves.
Yeah.
Compare and again compared to like 2D fighters where you only have a certain amount of moves, so you don't want them to be all like useless. The most useless move that a character might have in a Street Fighter game might be like a jumping like light kick or something, or like light punch. But even
Yeah.
then, it's not that it's unusable. It's just like you have probably better options.
Like in a 2D fighter, the useless moves are usually considered bad design
Yeah,
because there are situations where you should be using that button probably, but you won't because it's bad, right? Or overshadowed. Whereas in Tekken, if a move is overshadowed, whatever, it doesn't really matter that much because you'll still find a time to probably use it, and if you won't, you'll just laugh it off, and
yeah,
no one's gonna complain because you have a fucking plethora of moves already.
yeah. Do you guys like that? What do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer having like a quality over quantity or a quantity over quality?
Uh,
Quantity over quality.
I'd
Depend.
rather quality over quantity, honestly.
Hmm.
Like, I want moves that I can like uh I can fucking swap a situation around, right? I could do whatever I want with. I could use it for offense, for defense, I can use it for different situations. I love having a multi-purpose tool.
Makes it a lot easier too for like just picking up a character. You know, like you could just pick up a character and be like, yeah, this button does literally everything. Use it almost all the time. It could be like, all right, and
No, but like I let me clarify a little bit. I don't think it's necessarily a move that's like their whole kit is reduced to this move, like
yeah, I
those
was exaggerating a bit,
yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah. No, but like even in that case, like certain characters get away with way too much from too few moves, obviously. What I'm saying is I want a multi-purpose tool, one where like you can still misuse it, you could still be stupid, and like it's still like hard to learn all the utility for it. I'd rather a move where you could be surprised by the fact it's also useful on on defense when you're used to using it on offense or whatever.
I see what. Okay, yeah,
Like
I see what you mean more.
like an example I could think of that's a little uh a little pushing it probably,
Okay,
but like Dulcim level 2. I don't play Dulcim, but
that is
when
not the character or the move I would have ever expected you to say
What are you
ever.
talking about?
okay, right? I don't play that character and I didn't play Street Fighter for a long time. So Dulcim in Street Fighter 6 was level 2, he summons that big orb, and that's his like only reversal other than level 3. He's not supposed to have a reversal. This technically works as a reversal, but it's limited in that it doesn't have really good range. So if you're gonna actually use a reversal, you better be fucking right. But you would like because of that, you kind of look at it as a situation of like it's an offensive tool, but you see the move used on defense all the fucking time because there's a surprise second part to the move that happens even when he starts getting hit.
Mhm.
There's utility that you don't find immediately, uh, and like this isn't like super high level shit. This is like to someone learning Dulcim, this will take you a few days to be like, oh, I get it. That's where the utility comes in. And I think that's kind of what I'm getting at. That kind of like, oh, I can use this multi-tool in different ways. It's really fucking cool. I thought I was just using it one way and it was kind of mid the other way until I figured out how it worked.
Yeah.
I think that's more what I'm getting at.
Tekken still has that, but yeah, it's far more about like uh it's less about like, oh, I can use this move in that situation also, but more like, oh, my opponent is like doing this option against this. Oh, turns out I actually have a completely different move to counter that exact situation. Neat. I'm gonna add that to my toolkit. that's more so Tekken is like like finding useful like small usefulness from like very specific moves and other very specific situations.
Yeah.
And honestly, I used to not be like this, but I think I kind of prefer quantity over quality now. I used to be different, but I think it's even like expanded like how I feel about it into like other games. When 2x KO was live, Yasuo had by far the highest amount of moves in the game, and I loved it because I love going into a move list and being like, what could that be useful for, and like trying to like figure it out on my own. I love that feeling, and I love the feeling of having like a crap ton of moves to work with. And Tekken is like that feeling, the video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at least to me, I
Um,
like I like having a crap ton of moves to use in a lot of different situations.
all
Dakota,
right,
how do you feel?
all right. Why am I even here? All right. I prefer quantity over quality. Because I like to think of it as it's a. I think it makes people think different. So I was thinking, especially with Devin playing Street Fighter, how uh Devin would learn everything about a character, about a move. Like that move is plus on block. This move is minus. I can punish this, and he's understanding everything. Well, what I found out with Tekken is it's kind of hard to do that unless everyone who plays one character does always the simple bread and butter stuff, and you learn how to do the bread and butter stuff. Like when Eddie was first released, and people were mad that he had his 333 string, and people were freaking out. And it's like there's like three gaps in there that you can punish it. Fucking relax, people. Okay, all right. And it was great.
Jim Mashima.
Yes, the notorious fucking Jim Mashima. Uh, but I think it makes people play different. I think Tekken is one of those games where uh because I've Tekken 7 was my first game. I was too young to even know anything about the first five Tekkens. But what I think happened was they kept making new moves for people, and they're like, should we get rid of that move? It's like, no, why? Just it's more options. It's more content, if anything, right? So I found it really awesome. And it's also very overwhelming, especially when I first played Tekken. I was like, what are all these fucking moves? But you don't have to learn all those fucking moves. You can be like, oh, this is a funny little move. I mean, I fought Eddie's because I made Eddie Gordo in Tekken 8. Where I go, what the actual fuck kind of move is that? What move are you doing? Right, like we'll all usually play the same because every character kind of has a gimmick of being like a mix up or like a like crusher or like a grappler, right? But there's always small micro tendencies that they can edit. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can hear that, but there's like a shootout happening. I'm not
I
even
wasn't gonna
kidding.
comment on
I
anything, but the police are hunting you, dude.
they,
They heard you
they're
talking
gonna,
about Eddie's 333, and they were like, "We got him,
uh,
boys."
I just hear like fireworks and then sirens. But fucking, I don't know if that comes as clear through the mic.
I see what I see what you mean though. Like yeah, that's
I'm gonna close,
another thing that I
I'm
like
gonna close
about
my window.
Tekken
You
and a
keep
lot of
talking.
sorry.
I'm gonna close my window. You keep talking.
Okay. Um, with Tekken, like, there's a crap ton of moves, and that kind of scares a lot of people. That scared me going in. But like, once you realize that you don't have to use nearly as many moves as you think you do to win, life becomes a lot easier. Even with
Oh yeah.
Reina, I mean, Reina's my I don't know how good of an example Reina is on either side, but she's a character where you can just rely on her strong moves. Like again, like forward for two, Mishima stuff, like like crouch dash stuff, like 112, and then like a few other moves, like a couple other stuff, and you have a good game plan. Like you don't need that much. Like for each character, you probably only need to learn like 10 moves and to have like an effective game plan. Just like good high, good mid, good low, and your good high for everyone is a jab. Your good mid for everyone is probably down for one. Like a homing move, power crush, uh like a hard, maybe like a hard hitting low, a long reaching attack, maybe one or two other things, and then you're like good to go. You
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
don't really need to learn much else. But as you get better and as you get more comfortable with your character, you sort of be like, okay, my opponent keeps uh like backdashing in this situation. Do I have something that can hit him here? Or oh, they my opponent likes to just keep blocking here. Do I have like a good like plus on block move, or do I have a way I can set up a mix up here? Do I have a move for that? Do I have a move for this? Do I have a move for that? And that's what I like figuring that out. Because even for
I
me,
think
like I play very like compact. I don't use a whole lot of moves, but I like the options to have a bunch of moves.
yeah, I think like Tekken just as a game because it's 3D, it has this extra dimension of mobility and of just where you can be hit. Uh, but in adding that extra layer, they added complexities that needed to be fixed with different moves. You need moves that can track people when they sidestep you, or else sidestepping is broken. So like that's an extra move that you need to pay attention to in neutral, which like adds an extra layer to dealing with someone who might be more movement happy, someone who might walk around a little bit more, sidestep a bunch just in just to get around you. Whereas like other games don't have that issue. Usually, if you're doing something that avoids their main tool, it's a big commitment, like a jump. Like you jump at someone in most games, you can't really block, so you're just guessing that they're gonna press that button. Uh, Whereas in Tekken, like if you do that sidestep, you do that movement to get around their main tool, you can get around it with just like still being in block stance, right? Well, having essentially uh no real difficult like fucking commitment to
Yeah,
put
like
in.
this kind of transitions into movement, which is what I want to talk about next. Like the commitment to moving in Tekken, and I don't know if this is a 3D fighter thing specifically, but at least for Tekken, is so low commitment, like you were saying. Like when you jump in Street Fighter to like avoid like a fireball or something, unless you're playing like Third Strike and you have parries, your ass is committing to that jump. Your ass is committing to that jump, and maybe other like movement options that your character may or may not have during that jump. Whereas, like you're saying in Tekken, if you sidestep, you can block at any point during that sidestep. Any point
Yeah,
you can just decide, actually, you know what? No, I don't feel comfortable sidestepping anymore. I'm just gonna block again.
that's been
And
kind of like my biggest culture shock. Well, I've been playing for 30 hours and I'm starting to finally understand how broken good it is to just sidestep around like when someone's pressuring you. Like you can get out of practically fucking anything. Straight up imagination move. And worst case scenario, you probably still blocked whatever they threw at you if you didn't sidestep it.
and
I couldn't imagine doing that.
best case scenario, like they throw a string, you're behind them, and you launch them.
Yeah.
Like dude, Tekken movement is like my favorite thing ever. It's so awkward at first, and it has its hiccups, but once you get down to it, once you fight a player who has mastered the movement, which doesn't come very often, but every once in a while I fight a ranked demon whose movement is clearly like what they've mastered. You can't hit them. It feels like you're fighting Ultra Instinct. Like it's insane. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Dakota, do you like the movement in Tekken?
Yeah, I do. Um, I always felt when I played any fighting game, I always felt restricted. That sounds really dumb,
No, that's
but
fair.
especially in Street Fighter, I get in that corner and I would always just be fucked. I couldn't figure a way out. I jump over, they catch my jump, I grab them, they tag the grab. I mean, I got to Diamond 2 and then I stopped playing the game, but I still
had a really rough time. Also, the fact that you can get into Masters with a negative win rate
Yeah.
doesn't
Well,
really say much about it.
I
So
think
I don't know how.
you've probably felt restricted because you were playing slow ass characters. You played
Fuck.
Honda and fucking Geef. Like you weren't
First of
doing
all,
yourself
Honda's
any
not that
favors.
slow. No, that's ableist. Fuck you. That's not true.
That's not
He's a
true.
charge character. You are limited to holding back often.
No.
It's a full on restriction of movement.
No. Well, you know what? I don't know. It's what I took the fucking Street Fighter quiz, and it's like you should play Hana and play with dynamic controls. And all right, fuck you.
I get what
Fuck
you
you, Capcom.
I get what you mean though, because I kind of feel the same sometimes, where it's like in Street Fighter, like you're unless you're playing like a super high mobility character, a lot of the times you're just kind of walking back and forth. Which, don't get me wrong, walking back and forth in Street Fighter can be very like stressful and entertaining and fun to do. Like perfectly
No.
walking out of some perfectly walking out of someone's range as they try to like attack you and you whiff punish them. That feels fucking nice. But like I get what you mean by like some some of the bigger movements that aren't walking in Street Fighter have much higher commitments to them, or at least mostly higher commitments. Like you're in Street Fighter 6, if you want to run at someone, you're either dashing at them and then you can't block during that dash period, or you're spending a bar of your drive meter to run at them, which is like good. Keep in mind, drive rush and neutral is good, but it's still like a commitment that you're doing. Backdashing in pretty much every 2D game doesn't let you block while you're backdashing. Yeah. Tekken lets you block while you're backdashing. Tekken lets you do all shit all the time.
But the cool part about Tekken 2 is every character has even
Tekken
just
2 or the
defense
Tekken series
spot.
in general?
Tekken in general.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
loves
like,
Tekken 2.
I know, but
I love Tekken
fuck,
2.
man.
I've never played. Sorry, did I mess you up?
You did.
I held back so hard to not make that joke, but I couldn't hold it back anymore.
To be fair, for the past 2 days, we've had a pretty good run where I say some dumb shit and just fucking.
Yeah, we played Tekken while you were drunk. It was a good time.
Yeah, but how every character has is different, even in defense. Like everyone blocks the same, right? But everyone has, first of all, stance is a huge one, right? It's not just like other games where everyone's like really like still. You have some characters who have a very active idle stance, and if you go into training mode, it tracks how far your distance is on your idle stance, so that matters. Another one is
for like sides, like Eddie Gordo, like the Bears and Jack, like
yes.
their sidesteps are awful because they're so wide.
Well, I was gonna get to that. They have terrible sidesteps, so I'm mostly fucked most of the time because I'll try to sidestep a move, and I mean I'll sidestep it and I can block it, but I'm still not out of the situation where some characters can just sidestep and won't even have to hold the button. Because don't forget, because you can sidestep and hold and do a whole little walk around, which is nice, but sometimes it's just not fast enough. So Eddie has like his special sidestep, which is really good, but it puts him into a stance and then makes him airborne, right? Or how Eddie has a really bad backdash. It's really not great. He doesn't really go far with his backdash. So
I think his Korean backdash is good though. I think that was maybe that was a Tekken 7 thing.
I don't remember him having that in this game. But I know he was really good in Tekken 7, right? He was really good at having a really good backdash, but they kind of got rid of it. And Eddie, how they've made him now is that he just goes forward. There's no reason to back up with him anymore.
We can get into that. Yeah, that's a lot of characters.
Right, but that's the thing is again, Tekken 8, they've made more mechanics where it's aggressive. So characters who are really aggressive in Tekken 7 are now even more aggressive. Doesn't mean you can't block stuff, but it's a constant go mentality. Whereas if you take something like Street Fighter and Guilty Gear, man, am I constantly just fucking blocking all the time. What a fucking headache.
To be fair, Tekken has a lot of blocking too. Sorry,
I think you
I don't block in Tekken. I don't block in Tekken.
Yeah, you don't. I think you have a very different experience from a lot of people in that way. Because Street Fighter is so full of reversals. Like, I remember I think it was Broski recently. Um, I saw a video of one of his matches, and he was talking about how, like, sometimes, like, it's pretty easy just to accept that someone's gonna, like, just fucking hit you with a reversal, and then just, like, keep going. Because, like, if they have 3 bars, they don't get Oki. If they have 3 bars of drive, they use 2 on a OD reversal, and they only have 1 for drive rush. Are they gonna burn themselves out just to fucking go at you? Probably not. If they do, they have 1 chance to do anything. It's a situational option. If they have a full drive gauge, spending 3 bars just to turn the table, like, it's not bad, but also it could be worse. The drive gauge is empty now. They can't do like crouch medium kick drive rush into win the game
Yeah.
because they'll burn themselves out. Like, especially if you had them on the back burner, you've been chipping their gauge out. Like, by the time they want to use a reversal, it's not really super good for them. It gets them out of a position and puts them in a new one. You know? Whereas,
Yeah.
like, it's so easy to just toss out a move and, like, get perfect parried and die. So, the, like, consequences of doing certain actions, it weighs super differently, and I don't think Dakota abused those tools. I think he just used drive reversal a lot,
Yeah,
and that's how he got out of every situation.
Well, to be fair, I never really had to. You know how my mentality is always like, if it works, do it.
Yeah.
Right? If you're like, oh, I got throw loop, that's so stupid. It's like, well, you got fucking throw loops, dumbass. Like, you mean you let that happen? So I think the fact that I got as far as I did, I didn't really need to learn anything else. Kind of.
Street Fighter's an
doesn't mean
easy game? Question mark.
To remind the
No.
audience, to get as far as he did was Diamond.
2. Fuck you.
Okay,
It was Diamond 2, and I stopped because of Tekken. So I was there that 6 months. And don't forget, I started out literally in fucking bronze. So fuck you. You know what? First month, you know what? Then we all know what. No. All right. We all can't start the game first month and get to fucking masters and then complain that my masters MR is fucking 1500 MR and I'm stuck in fucking bronze 5.
Dakota, you put in a lot of work. You put in a lot of work, and I appreciate that.
Saying.
I will also kind of disagree though, because I think Tekken is a blocking game, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I like the interaction that Tekken has with its defensive systems. I like having a lot of options on defense, and specifically, I like having options. I like when offensive options have clear counters to them. And Tekken, with every move, despite how many moves there are, and obviously there's outliers to this, but like every move has a clear, concise weakness that where the only boundary between you pulling it off is knowing that it exists, and obviously reading that's what your opponent's going to do, but like just knowing that it exists. And knowledge checking is sort of a big thing in Tekken because no one knows anything. Devin, you would know this especially because you're new.
Yeah, 30 hours in, I'm experiencing every character that I can on ranked and going, oh, he has that, and then fighting them a week later for the first time and going, oh shit, I forgot they had that.
Well, I think there's a bit from, I think it's, what is it, G-Unit, where he's like, every time I learn how to beat a Tekken character, I forget another one.
Yeah.
Like one character's move list and information pops in your brain, but you have to squeeze another character. It's like, okay, I finally learned how to beat the bears again. Okay, I'm good. Oh fuck, no, Zafina. My Zafina knowledge is running away. Oh no. No,
I've noticed that, and it feels like a game where 400 hours is gonna feel a lot better than every minute before. Where like once you have enough experience dealing with everyone, you can just kind of remember something and be aware of it before it happens. On like basic B&B level, basic pressure, and it'll propel you significantly further to not have to deal with something a single time and then get ran down by someone who's now in heat, who is now like rushing you down with a big combo. You know, like I think the having those like direct knowledge checks is really fucking scary for me as someone who's unexperienced, but will probably be really satisfying later on.
Oh yeah.
I have such a big fucking problem with it. Like even with that knowledge of like it's gonna get better when you know about it, it still frustrates me knowing that there isn't like a proper answer to just like
No, no.
thinking
See,
about
I love that.
situations, you know?
No, I love that. I love that. That there's it's literally do your own thing. Because I won't lie, I love how technical Dev is and how Tekken has really challenged his technicality. And he's like, "But that's my whatever." And it's like, yeah, but you could just not do that. They're like, no, but that's my plus move. It's like, well, you fucking crouched in.
I
He did a crouch.
Like I do appreciate the defense quite a bit. I like how like a lot of tools that the tools that have armor, lose to throws and lows. The tools
Refresh.
like there are no proper, at least not that I've noticed. There's no proper fully invincible tools. It's just
Yeah.
moves that are armored.
yeah.
So you cannot get away with just fucking like doing what you would do in any other fucking 2D fighter. It's just OD Shoryu, I'm out, cool. My OD uppercut got me to safety. Oh, I used my EX move. Oh, I used the super and got out of here. You can't really do that in Tekken. There's no like get out of jail free card.
There's no.
Do you have enough health? Do you have enough health to do with every move?
This is a bad example because I think it was just patched out, but there's no like Leo flash kick into RC into bat into cross up special into like
What
your
the
own
fuck are you
pressure.
even talking about right now? I have
It's
no
not-
idea what.
I don't think that's a thing
those are-
anymore, but you know what I mean.
No.
You made that.
Like,
you made that
yeah.
up. You made all
Like-
of that up.
There's no
That's what I
proper
did.
invincibility. Is what I'm getting at.
Didn't make any of that up, but yeah, I
This
know.
man is not
yeah.
a Guilty Gear player.
Okay.
Luckily, that is gone. You're right.
One thing, and Dev, this is I might have talked about this at some point. One thing that kind of helped me with the like overwhelmingness of Tekken and sort of figuring stuff out is with time you sort of figure out, you sort of see a move and kind of into oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? Intuitively figure out what its weaknesses are just by
Intuitively.
looking at it.
Good job.
You can yeah, shut up. You can look at a move and be like, shit, dude, this move is plus. I'm pretty sure this move is plus. It puts me in a really bad spot. Looks really quick. Whatever. That's probably a high. I'm gonna duck that next time, and then you duck it, and you're like, hell yeah. Or if it's not a high, maybe it's like super sidesteppable, and it's like really easy to sidestep. Okay, that's how I beat that. You look at a string, and you're like, fuck, I keep getting hit by the string. But is there a low in that string? You can parry that. Okay, that's how you beat that string. I like how Tekken kind of, and this isn't universal, obviously, but Tekken mostly has a lot of set rules that characters follow that you can kind of just a lot of characters share the same moves. Like Snake Edge is a common one that you see, especially at lower ranks. A lot of characters have Snake Edges, but they're basically, for every character that has one, the same move. It's just a really slow low that you can react to that's homing and sets up for a combo. But if you can block it, for basically all of the Snake Edges, you can launch it. There's moves like certain, a lot of characters have strings that are like quick mid-high strings that are hard to react to, but if you know they're coming, you can just duck the high, get a punish. You might not, I don't know, maybe you'll be able to launch it. I don't know. But there's always some kind of like logic behind the design of every move. And I really like that. They're not always perfect. Sometimes you got some overtuned ass moves like Dragonov's entire kit. Azucena, Azucena while running through 2 before he got nerfed. You have some, obviously some outliers. But Devin, if you continue to play Tekken, this might be something you also realize. But being able to look at any move in the game and realize like this move is giving me trouble. It's like mid. It's super mid. It tracks. It's whatever. I bet that's launch punishable because it has this is all the strengths that it has. It's probably launch punishable, or it's probably uh reactable, or it's probably you can like jab them out of it. Figuring that out to me is my favorite part of Tekken, I think. And
I
it
think
it plays on that like people being nervous about learning so much, but that's how I feel.
I don't think I'm having too much crazy trouble like worrying about that. Like I don't think I really give that much of a fuck. I'll be honest. When I see a move, I go, "Oh, okay. I kind of get it." And then it'll still take me a while to like figure it out because I'm still working on the very bare bones basics. What's been fucking me up is when I can do that. When I succeed in going, "Oh, hey, I didn't even have to go in training mode. Just this one set with this guy
Yeah.
taught me that I can duck this high in this string and suddenly launch punish." But because he's extending a limb out and that's the only way I get the counter hit, I can't do my regular combo, and now I have to improvise a new situation, and I
See,
can't,
I love.
you know?
See, I love
Yeah.
how you're like, oh, this is my combo, and then you hit a wall, and you're like, oh, I fucked up my combo, and it's like, well, why don't you just halfway through your combo just drop it so that when he hits the wall, and then you reset yourself, and then you just kind of
Well,
restart instead of
that's
doing.
that's
Are
one of
you
the points
asking
I
me?
wanted to get into because I wanted
Are
to.
you,
I
are you asking
Devin,
me why at 30 hours in, I am not completely restructuring my combo game for situational moments
I didn't ask you to fucking restructure it. What I said was instead of doing your whole combo, which you always do, even when someone
instead of
hits the
doing my
wall.
structured combo?
Yeah, okay. Don't you fucking interrupt me because you're gonna make me look like I'm an idiot
that
here when
I'm
I'm not.
succeeding.
Uh-huh.
that was okay. That
Instead of
was
doing
definitely a point I
no,
wanted to get into though. Uh,
yeah, but
Devin, we were watching you play earlier, and you were definitely complaining about hitting the walls on combos. I wanted to know how. I'm sure you can give an explanation, but I also wanted to know for both of you, like how you guys felt about walls in Tekken because they're so different compared to
Fucking hate
2D.
it.
all right. You might. I mean, I'm indifferent. I'll be honest with you. I thought of it just more as a different tech because if here's what I thought. Right, this opportunity of them being hit against the wall. I know. There's like anime. Like you can wall splat someone. Right now, you can wall blast someone. You can have it where they hit the wall super high and then you can still kind of combo them a bit and then they fall on their ass, right? Or they just kind of like they flip backwards and they hit the wall different. Like it's fun. So learning with Eddie, and it was a really hard thing to break to stop doing his 3-3-3 combo because when you know it worked, you use it. Uh,
Jim Mashima.
was that was that when you do the combo and someone hits the wall, you realize like, oh shit, you just dropped the combo. And while you're doing your whole combo, they've rolled over to the side and they got up. And you're in the middle of your animation, so you're fucked. So what I've learned is if I'm near a wall, to just do maybe part of the combo and then they hit the wall and then I reset myself. So no matter what they do, like if they get up or they sidestep, that I'm right there with them. I'm still in their face.
Sounds
That's
like
how
you're
I think of it as.
sounds like you're explaining the DHC combo, Marvel 3.
You do a combo, you do another combo.
Combo that into a super, but the combo doesn't combo, but it's still combo.
Why am I even here, man?
No,
Look,
I see what you mean. Dev,
I
I
I
want you to.
I I kind of get it, right? Like I don't get it fully, but I understand that once they snap onto a wall, you get a different
Properties change.
situation. The
Properties
properties
change.
change.
Yes.
My problem is that it's so fucking obnoxious to deal with. It changes the entire route. It means that my regular route will drop in situations where like okay, I'm playing Lily. Lily to end her combos. Usually she gets quite a bit of fucking off like a big starter, like a launcher or whatever, or a counter hit something. she'll get a lot of corner carry. And so I get stuck on the corner by the end of my combos typically, but I can't finish them because I go into do glide for the last little bit, and the follow-ups from do glide do not hit properly on someone who is on the wall. They just don't finish. They the legs will touch on the little jump attack, but they will not connect as a hit. So I have to drop it significantly earlier than I'm expecting to, and change my entire route for this situation that looks like it should hit. You know, it is really really obnoxious to have to think so far ahead for this move that does look like it connects, but just lets them fall on the ground.
Right.
See, you're like, I don't understand it. What do you mean? You drop the combo and they hit the wall and you're still plus, and you just kind of wait for them to do something, like get up.
Yeah, but I have to restructure my entire situation. This
No,
this
not
yes,
really.
I
You're just
do.
back in neutral.
Like, and then
That's
putting
his,
them on
that's
the
his
wall.
point though.
Overthinking
That's his
this.
point though.
Yeah,
That's his point.
putting them
though.
on the
You're
wall.
overthinking it.
No, I'm not overthinking it because
Yes, you are.
it changes everything that I'm trying to do now. Instead of being, like really far from my opponent, now I'm really close. Oh, cool, they're against the wall now. Now I have to worry about am I too close to the corner because my move whiffed and I am still moving forward. Did I get to a point where my next hit will still cling them to the corner or will it not? If I fix my combo structure to yes, I know. I'm telling you my struggles.
I
like if I hit them on the wall early in my combo, I have to end it early as well. You know? It's a really, really weird situation that I have to like work around. Like and against like fairly low ranked players, like I'm in red ranks now, people don't know how to deal with this situation properly. So they get stuck in the corner to the point where I'm just awkwardly flailing at someone who just keeps waking up and getting smacked up, and then I whiff on them because I don't know what hits on the corner yet in every situation.
Yeah.
It's a weird structure that I have to remap my brain around based on distance, based on everything, based on how far I moved myself. Have I already won 2 interactions while they're on the wall, or 1, or maybe it won't even work anyway.
Yeah. I see what you mean. I see what you mean, and I like half agree with you. I especially I agreed with you when I was first playing with Tekken, like my first 30 hours. Especially when you compare it to 2D fighters where like your mid-screen combo and your corner combo can be the exact same if you want it to be. Obviously you can optimize, probably like corner share whatever. But for the most part, you can just kind of do the same shit.
Yeah.
Like if you want. Like you're not gonna drop a combo as long as you're not doing like because you hit a corner, unless you're specifically doing like a mid-screen only combo. But those are exceptions, not the rule. Whereas in Tekken, dropping your combo because your opponent hit the wall, if you just know a mid-screen combo, yeah, that's normal. That is something that's very common. And I do one thing, hitting the wall in Tekken is really fucking weird. And I do kind of wish that more moves just kind of worked on the wall. And that's where I kind of agree with you, Devin, where it's like it's really awkward doing a combo and then they hit the wall and then the move you're supposed to hit with next just misses. And you're like, well, shit.
I'm getting fucking knowledge checks by my own kid. It's weird.
However, despite having gripes with it, I actually still really like the wall situations in Tekken typically, because hitting the opponent with a weird launcher at a weird angle and still being able to get a good combo out of it feels like really good skill expression, especially if you can get a combo that would deal more damage than if you were closer or further away from that same wall or corner. Like hitting someone at the wall and realizing, okay, I can't hit them with the wall here, but if I like purposefully do a combo that does more corner carry here, so that I can actually so that they actually splat, and then I can do whatever my wall ender is, or vice versa, where it's like, okay, they're really close to hitting the wall here. Should I try to continue my combo and risk them hitting the wall, or should I end it early, or should I do a completely different route that'll make them hit the wall at a better angle for me? All of those things run into my mind when I hit my opponent especially at like a weird angle, and that's what I like because it's a similar. I don't want to bring it up again. I don't want to bring it up again. It's similar to like Smash Brothers and platform fighters. I didn't want to bring it up again, but like when you get
No,
a
so how
when
did
you
that
get a
make you
weird
feel?
when you get when you get a weird hit in a platform fighter where they're at a weird percent at a weird part of the stage and you're pretty sure they're DIing a certain way, I love having my brain run and not just be like, oh, let me just do the same combo I do all the time here, or whatever variation of the combo. My brain is like improvising on the spot in this one scenario that I may not ever see again. What can I do here? How can I optimize this? And that's what I really like about Smash Brothers combos. And that's also a feeling I get towards Tekken combos because of wall situations where it's like, can I afford to tumble them early here? Can I afford to can I make them hit the wall? Do I use the wall or floor extensions? When can I use them? I It sucks when they don't work out. In the same way that it can suck in a platform fighter when you try to hit someone and it kind of fucks up. Arguably worse in Tekken because it typically means you get your ass ate for it. But I really, really like it. Like the combo situation. Now, to be clear, the points that I don't like about it is when I hit my opponent on the wall, and because I was at a really awkward angle, my basic, whatever combo just flat out misses, and I get punished for it for like no fucking reason. Or they cross me up in a weird way, and I get hit on the other side for no reason. That shit sucks. I don't like that. I don't know how they would fix that, but I would like it if they fixed that. But overall, combos are harder because of walls, but they also allow for more skill expression. That's why I like them.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, and like it's literally what I'm just too inexperienced to really get. But I understand that kind of feeling for coming from like Dragon Ball, especially where so many hits come from random touches in neutral, and just there's enough hits done that I could probably re-jump and catch them anyway, you know? Or like just in any like fighter that has air techs, just catching them when they weren't expecting it and going, oh shit, following up on the combo and getting like a gray beat, or a blue beat or whatever it is for that game. Like
Yeah.
that moment of like, oh, I was quicker on the draw than him. He didn't realize he was getting hit, but I was like 2 seconds ahead, going, oh shit, and realizing I got hit and pulling out this weird, somewhat slightly optimal from what I do know. Like that moment of like rare pickups. It's harder to do, at least I think, in Tekken. A lot of situations are short strings or like big launchers where it's very systematic for what you do until you get to the wall, where all of a sudden it's the most abstract and difficult part of comboing.
Very awkward. I think awkward is the word I like to use.
Yeah,
Second corner combo.
and like okay, one other thing that I don't really like, even in 2D fighters, is the OTG situation. I feel it's really uncomfortable. Usually after like an OTG, like I'll just try and reset because I don't know what the situation is anymore. I'm lost. Things don't feel right. It feels awkward. And Tekken is full of that. Just like hit them off the ground and all you have to re-engage in a weird way. It just doesn't feel right to me, and I haven't liked it in any game that I've played it in.
Yeah, Oki in Tekken is really awkward. I like it. You know what? My point for Oki in Tekken is the exact same as the wall, where it's like it's really awkward and the rules aren't clear and there's a lot of really weird situations. But like, there's so many more options to it that once you learn everything, it's really fun.
Yeah, I think
I like the
the
Oki system.
clarity is what's fucking with me because I'm just not used to it. So I'm gonna have to figure out the situational shit. And again, like I said earlier, like I need to figure out what I can do off of certain situations, uh, and how they differ from my regular routes. Because I haven't had to learn too many crazy routes. It's a
Okay.
quick 2-button string, or it's fucking a launcher combo that I string from like 2 main routes. It's not a very complex system I've got going on.
Oh yeah, if you keep playing and once you get better, the Tekken, at least to me, gets more fun as you.
Yeah,
But maybe you'll figure.
I think that's probably where like I'm having the least amount of fun is just getting these situational moments and going, well, what am I gonna do without labbing this? Nothing. All right, cool. Like
uh, yeah.
in other games, it's a lot easier to convert in awkward situations. At least I find. Maybe it's just because I have thousands of hours
Yeah,
more into the games.
I find it's easier, not easier, but I find it's about the same in Tekken for like awkward situations like that. But that's also again, that's because I've been playing it so much. So again, for you, it might it is very likely just a case of inexperience. But that is a problem I think with Tekken as a whole, is that it's so, even if it's not necessarily Tekken's fault, but it's so different from everything else that like you can't, it's almost a handicap jumping into Tekken with other fighting game knowledge compared to just starting fresh, you know what I mean?
You know what? I think maybe that's why I got into Tekken so easily and got good at it because I didn't retain any information you guys have taught me. It's like think about it. That makes too much sense.
You just, yeah, you know, Dakota, you do have like and I'm saying this as kindly as I can. You can go
Fucking
into
tread carefully,
cases,
buddy.
you can go into cases with like a very fresh mind. You have a very like to the point kind of like playstyle kind of mindset, whereas Devin and I over here are like overthink. Like, what's the meme of like the two fighting game players where one of them is like all the super separate combos and like mathematics going on in their mind. Meanwhile, you have like the one button that you really like and you cannot wait to hit them with. You cannot wait to hit them with that throw. And it works because you're like, fuck it, I just want to hit him with that, and then you just figure out how to do it, and that's how you got to blue ranks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we both like to min max, and Dakota, he likes to play the game.
You like to have fun, and I appreciate that. Do you guys have anything else to add to that, or because I kind of want to go like rapid fire through a couple other things, just opinions. No.
Uh,
I think that's pretty much it. Do you?
there's one
'cause
more
we-
thing that I would like to
Okay.
add though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
One of the main reasons that I struggled getting into Tekken is aesthetics, and I think like there are pros and cons to it. I don't want to get too much into it because it is all opinions, but I don't like the aesthetics of Tekken, and that's just me. I think the music is alright.
That
It's-
was gonna be that was gonna be
it's-
my next section. Was I was gonna
Jesus
rapid fire
fucking
things that
Christ.
weren't gameplay related.
But I can't enjoy these games with the music on. It don't feel right.
Yeah.
You don't play any fighting game with music though.
I keep it all
Yeah,
off.
it's terrible. I can hear like all the individual like grunts. You play
Like-
fucking Street Fighter and you just keep hearing like the and it's like there's no fucking music. You're just actually watching a man beat another man to death with a cane.
Like I don't play it for the music experience. I usually
Street
I play
Fighter's
these
music's
games because
pretty
I
good.
think they're really cool and I like the characters and I think they're interesting and how their like lore fits into their buttons and how blah 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 blah. Something that 2D fighters have kind of gotten down pat.
Mhm.
The games that have like these fucking like Guilty Gear especially, but Street
Yeah.
Fighter,
Oh, yeah.
like they have these
No, Street Fighter's
amazing
bad.
toolkits that really fit a character and define so much about them and make it just so interesting to really put their pieces together and fit everything like a fucking puzzle. and it's beautiful, and it brings a piece of fucking narrative into their whole kid, and it's beautiful, and I love it. And Tekken does not give me that same vibe, and I never got into it because I never felt that kind of connection to any of the character, even when trying to learn about their lore.
I will say, and this kind of goes into that one meme that I'm sure you guys have seen before, where it's like average Tekken character, or like it's like average Guilty Gear character, and it's like
Yeah,
like the most detailed explanation.
yeah,
They have the wackiest moves, 37 belts, all that shit, and then the
yeah.
average Tekken character is like guy.
It's Eric.
It's
It's
Eric.
Eric
It's Eric,
who
and his
has
his his
who
big
has
special move is,
knuckle blast,
you know, he hit
ankle breaker.
a
Eric
big
Yeah,
kick.
and then
Dyson.
yeah, and then the Guilty Gear character has like Wrath of the Heavens or some shit where it opens up like the 9 gates of hell and just explodes someone with all the fire from it. You know, and then you got one guy who's just flexing his muscle really hard and just punches you. And
Hmm.
that somehow brings you to the Philippines and he just drowns you in like the rivers. It's like, okay.
I will say though, Devin, I know you were going into that. I think Tekken has that idea of like, you know, like characters and their relation from like their personality and that to their like play styles and
Styles.
everything. I think Tekken that has that down pat too. It might just be that you haven't gotten to that point where you can appreciate it yet. But like when I think about like interesting Tekken characters and like how they relate, I think about like Kazuya. I think is a really good example. The whole Mishima fighting style in general being the super like aggressive fighting style, and Kazuya being the fucking poster boy of that, where he is just all in all the time, constantly super like hardcore, like how he is personality wise, while also like just dominating, steamrolling his opponent. um and then and obviously Kazuya kind of has this like perfectionist personality, at least that's the vibe I get from him, and him being a perfectionist character really ties in. But then you look at like Jin, who has a far more defensive play style and doesn't use only Mishima stuff. He uses a mix of what is it,
Yeah, but he
Juns? I don't remember
yeah,
the fighting
yeah,
style.
it's the what's the it is like what is it called? The Yakushima? No, it's not Yakushima. Whatever her last name was. Kazama style.
Kazama style, yes. But like
Yeah,
he uses a
literally.
mix of both, and that kind of plays into his more well-rounded playstyle. Whereas he uses a couple Mishima stuff because that's what he's learned, but he also kind of
But
keeps it back, and he can use more. He has a lot of like good parries and good long-reaching attacks, and kind of play more passive. I find that a lot of Tekken characters have that kind of like interesting way of like their personality and their characters. Like Yoshimitsu is a fucking like uh a weird, awkward samurai ninja thing, and his moves uh are weird
reflect
and
that.
awkward, and he has a lot of weird stuff. Um Reina, I mean, I've been playing Reina. She has Mishima moves. She has her own style as well, but she takes a lot from Heihachi, and Heihachi's her fucking daddy. Like Heihachi's the one she looks up to. You know, I
Yeah,
think
who totally won't betray her.
totally won't betray her. We don't. This is recording before story and everything, so we'll see how it
Oh, fucking what do you evidence shows to what? Certainty.
goes. um,
No, I think you're probably, yeah, I mean you're absolutely right. They wouldn't make these characters without having any reason, you know? Like these characters, they wouldn't just be designed out of thin air.
yeah,
I just, aesthetically it doesn't please me, and I feel like so many people like how this game looks and like how the characters act, and I need to be a contrarian for some reason, I guess. I don't know, it's somewhere in my blood. But I've never liked it, and that's part of the reason I never wanted to get into it. And I still don't like it even after playing it.
I'm wondering.
Aesthetic.
I'm wondering if it's because it's a lot more, and I'm saying this with air quotes, I should add. It's a lot more grounded compared to other fighting games. When I think about the fighting games you like the over the top, wacky bullshit anime shit. Your favorite fighting games are like Dragon Ball and Under Night. The most like anime games ever. you want to see some people blowing cities up as you're playing. You know what I mean? Whereas with Tekken, whereas with Tekken, it's a lot more like uh I don't want to ground. I
It's a
don't know.
lot more like martial artist, like
Yeah,
proper.
it feels like a proper
Yeah,
martial arts movie that you're watching, which is the reason why I really like it, and I think reason why Dakota likes it too.
I
Uh,
like big colors, big bomb go boom, big punch make big bomb go boom.
I like flashing lights. I mean, Tekken 8 has more of that, and I really like the animations, especially with the heat stuff. Like characters, basically just having like a big special move they can do every round they're all beautifully animated. The animations in Tekken in general are beautiful, but they're different.
Oh,
They're
for sure.
like they're not like they're not beautiful for the same reason that like Street Fighter or Guilty Gear animations are beautiful, where it's like, you know, beautiful like squash and stretch animation and cool like keep posing and all that. But like Tekken, it's more like the fluidity of the way the moves.
Absolutely. I think just in general, not even just the like specials, but or the supers or anything, but just like everything.
That's what I was going to.
Yeah.
Like every move just has
Like
such
you
a
don't have
nice.
there's not many proper cancels or cancels in general in Tekken. It's
Yeah.
always a move that flows into the next one with a proper movement.
Yeah.
You don't go from crouching to standing to crouching again mid combo, and
No,
then
that's how you get.
turn around and do a backflip and fucking.
That's how you get launched.
Yeah, you're not doing tricks on it in mid fucking combo, which is what every other anime fighter looks like.
Mhm.
Even Street Fighter looks like that.
Yeah, like Street Fighter is the most like grounded 2D fighter, but even then, like it has a lot of crazy cancels and stuff. Same thing with Mortal Kombat. Like you're watching characters like cancel moves into each other at like lightning fast speed. They're doing all sorts of crazy shit. Tekken doesn't really have that.
I don't want to bring Mortal Kombat into an aesthetics slash
Okay, I'm
animation
sorry.
quality.
I shouldn't have said Mortal Kombat. I'm
Let's
sorry.
not talk about Mortal Kombat right now.
Guys, can we talk about Mortal Kombat and Smash Brothers? My two favorite fighting games of all time. What do you mean I stink? I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, animation fluidity. And Mortal Kombat, it's like, no, wait, hold on.
Dude, I promise. I took a shower like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. I promise. It's fine.
Anyway. I think that made my point anyway. I
No,
think we're all, yeah.
I see what you mean though. And like it's just different. It's different. And it might
Yeah.
not vibe with you, but at least for me, it vibes with me and Dakota. I'm sure it vibes with you. So um so can I have a list of other talking points that I wouldn't mind making. Just we don't have to talk about them for very long. But I would like to bring them up.
Shoot.
Actually, you know what, we can talk about one of them. Devin, this isn't really for you because I don't think you've listened to Tekken music, but I did want to talk about how Tekken music fucking rules. It's so good. I know you haven't really heard much of it because you turned the music off. But if
I listened to the music for the first while. I had to turn it off because I didn't
didn't
vibe with
vibe.
it.
You don't vibe with any fighting game soundtrack.
No, but like I listen to a lot of fighting game music in my free time, and I usually turn on like a playlist for something. But I don't play the game with that game's music playing.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
Like I've been using. I'm gonna shout out. The Purple Sharpie.
Sounds familiar.
She's a Skullgirls player. She's a fighting game commentator all around.
Oh yes.
Super lovely person in the community. Very, very helpful. Does a lot of work to try and push different things that are amazing for the community. One thing I've been using a lot is she has a fucking radio show. The FGC Radio.
I need to look into that.
Radio.fgcast.com if you want to find it yourself. Dude, it's just constantly playing. It's a radio channel. It's constantly playing fighting game music. And every so often there's little breaks where they have a host talk about indie fighters or other shit like that. Super, super cool. They have a little podcast that they do every Tuesday straight on the radio. They upload it on their own as well. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. And I shout it out because I've been using it a lot lately for background music and shit like that.
No. Fuck.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Anyway, I listen to a lot of fighting game music. Is my point, and that's been my treat as of recent.
Do they have a lot of Tekken music on?
Probably, yeah, I think they do.
You might just not know it's Tekken music when you're listening to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of like anime and Street Fighter. There's a lot of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But there's like some KI that I put on my playlists because I thought it was good. There's a lot of Marvel stuff.
Yeah, Killer Instinct has some good music as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Guilty Gear is
I-
king. Guilty Gear is king.
Guilty Gear's king
Yes.
for that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had like their playlist. I did have a little bit of a problem because it didn't have a lot of like old Melty Blood music, and that shit bangs. So I have to, they can't be perfect. But no, I really, really like it. I use it a lot.
Dakota, you like Tekken music?
Yeah.
Fucking love Tekken music. It's not dynamic because that's what Killer Instinct was, where like if you would do a combo it would like get more hype. But when you hit the third round, or at least the climax round they call it, where
Yes, I love
guess-
that.
yeah, where they have someone has a 2 lead. So it's best who has 3 wins who has a 2 lead. And the stage will change. Like my favorite. What's it called? I'm fucking drawing a blank here.
Is it the one stage like the one stage where Kazuya and Jin fight at the end?
No, because that's in the story. They play the main theme, and then the some of the climax most songs I don't think as good. Rebel Hanger, that's my shit.
Oh, that's the one in the base.
Yeah, the Rebel Hanger. That's literally the stage name, dude.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
called Rebel Hanger. Yeah. So I think the main song is awesome, and the climax is really good as well.
Yeah, dynamic music like that, where when you're on the final round or like the final the match point, the music, every song having having 2 versions of it, where one of them is more intense because it's ramping up. I love that shit. I love that shit so much.
I would say the climax music has influenced my choices, and I've had so many instances where we'll hit the climax, the stage
When you're
will
climaxing.
change. We'll hit the climax music. Yeah, we're about the climax, right? And I just go fucking all right. Let's fucking do this. Let's get ready. And I'll really concentrate,
In that exact
and
tone.
then we'll win. I'll win. And of course, the music still plays at the end, right? So of course, it's like let's fucking go, and it's just like playing the hard guitar.
Yeah.
It's just it's fucking awesome. I mean, that was even like Guilty Gear. I tried getting really into it, and some songs just go fucking mental.
I know.
Right? Some are like very like nice and lolly, and then some are just like I have Survivor's Guilt, epic guitar solo, and then my brain's just like, yeah. And then I mean, you see how I play Guilty Gear? I would just use all my meter to fucking cancel out of nothing, and then try to grab someone.
You were clearly
So-
the most epic of Guilty Gear players.
Yeah,
No,
but I think, we've agreed that music's really important. So to have something like Street Fighter, where I see the style they were going with, but it's not. It's just kind of mediocre sometimes. Some songs are like really good, and then there's no like
has a lot of problems.
Street Fighter 6. I would say like I like the whole street punk vibe they're trying to go with a bit, but it's really not. It's never hitting the climax. Only some songs are good the whole time, but then some songs never hit a climax, which I kind of hate.
Fair.
Doesn't mean it's bad.
yeah.
I mean, you can vibe with it while something's happening. It's good filler.
You can't get any bwah, 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 bwah.
There's not the the Tekken 7. Yeah. I do want to bring up also, and I don't want to talk about too much things that Devin you haven't really dived into, so this is going to be the only thing. Character customization in Tekken is so good, and I wish other fighting games had that.
I'd say Tekken 7.
Every character
Tekken
has like
7
an infinite amount of outfits, dude. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, they kind of used, they did. But Tekken 7, they had a lot more you can customize main costumes with normal
Yeah,
outfits. Not and
that's a
technically,
problem. That's a problem.
yeah,
But
then
overall, it has its issues because it was better in older games. But just flat out being able to customize your outfit in the game is so good, especially when you're comparing it to Tekken or to Street Fighter 6, where each character has what, like 3 costumes?
At
It's
max.
max.
max and then like their colors and that's it.
Yeah.
I adore being able to customize my character, and Devin, I'm still so surprised you haven't at least touched it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
don't really
told you
care for
it's
stuff like
just
that.
great because it's like I like this color of blue. I mean, you've seen what I've made. Sometimes it's terrible monstrosities, and sometimes I make excellent luchador outfits for King because that's fun, right?
I'm just saying that, like, to me that's important because I love being able to. I'm saying this as someone who plays default one, color one in like every fucking
Yeah,
game because I'm fucking lame. But I love that
white.
option of being able to customize my characters like that. It's so good.
Like I think the reason that I haven't delved into it too much is that I'm trying to uh I'm trying to get really comfortable with the game first before
Before you jump into
like
all the other fun stuff, yeah.
before I really try and make my identity in the game. I'm just trying to figure out how the fuck it works.
Mhm.
But also like I was saying before, like with the games that I kind of do lean towards, they have they very expressive characters and designs and all that. And I'm not used to wanting to change them because I think these characters look cool as fuck already, you know? Like when I played fucking Guilty Gear and I jumped on Faust, I thought Faust looked fucking sick. That character looks cool as hell. Why would I want to change what he looks like? I don't. He looks cool as fuck.
That's how
You
I
kidding me?
feel
You
in
fucking
most
got him so
cases.
that he's fucking half naked. What are you talking about? You already do that. You
Dakota,
can
you're
just
not
do
supposed
that
to
in game
expose him
now.
for the nude Faust mod that he has
No,
always.
no. His fucking mini Faust is just the rat.
Yeah. Okay, mods after
He
600
has.
hours of gameplay don't count.
Yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
Devin's gonna explore the customization once
Anyway.
after he's got to.
Eventually after I'm gonna need something to keep it
The
fresh.
triple digit hours.
But I played 600 hours without doing anything to Faust, right? Because I thought he looked cool. I thought he was sick, and I didn't need to do anything.
Yeah, he took him on dates before he took off his clothes. I get it.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Buy me dinner first. Jeez.
Okay. Yeah, character customization good. Has problems, but it's good.
I think even if it has problems, it's better than the worst iteration of Tekken customization is better than every other game.
Yeah,
so far
by a mile.
By a mile.
I do want to wrap up soon, but I have two more questions, and I'm just gonna say them, and I'm just gonna say discuss, and we can talk about it, okay? Just fun, interesting conversations that loop around quite often in the FGC and stuff. Well, just maybe not like that, but okay.
Say it.
I will. Is Tekken easy or hard? Discuss.
Yeah, it's easy. The game's it's not hard. It's like intuitive in most senses. There are problems with it, and we've discussed, and those only matter when you get to a point where you're fighting people who think they're good and have egos and shit. Until you get to that point, it doesn't matter.
I would say, obviously, older games are a lot harder, and now they're trying to bring them more quote unquote modern, right? So I know in Tekken 8 they simplified a lot of moves. They just changed it so they're a lot easier to execute. That doesn't mean that your character still doesn't require skill and execution. But I think with what
and stuff
Tekken
adds to that.
8 has provided, I'd say it's easy to pick up on the simples of your character. It's very easy to learn what to do, but the issue is applying it. And I said that before, where Tekken 8 had a huge issue when it launched. where a lot of people were just kind of like doing the guard. I mean, Dev, you fought them. We see you fight. You'll fight people who get cornered. All they do is either grab and power crush, right? And that's the issue, is that when they're nervous, they fall back on easy things that can help them. I mean, I did it for the longest time. I was just power crushing stuff, and I was correct for a long time. And then when you get to this wall, you got to adapt. You got to improve. You can't just power crush everything now, right? You can do more. So I'd say the characters are a lot. It's easier than ever to pick up a character and understand how they work, but it's harder than ever to apply it, especially with Tekken, because we talked about how you can't understand everything about a character because every character is so different that you're gonna lose your fucking head.
Yeah, the hard Tekken is, and with my point is, I think Tekken is simultaneously very easy and really hard depending on your point of view, because you can kind of just press buttons and it's really easy and you don't have to worry about like really tight links or hard execution unless you're playing like a Mishima or something. But the hard part comes in with like learning, like
You're-
knowing. You know what I mean?
Guys, you're talking about this like it's a nuanced thing. It's a low skill floor and a high skill ceiling.
Yeah, you're right.
Every game. Yeah, especially with Tekken, because that was the big one where Tekken was considered difficult for a while, and I heard it was too. And I had a hard time with 7, but 8 came along, and I was able to learn 8 with relative ease. So I think because it's been more modernized as best as it can, I think it's a lot better. But I think the big one is people get overwhelmed or try to apply old game logic to like a 3D fighter, and there's different rules, and that makes it difficult.
Yeah, there's easy stuff and hard stuff. You can
Yeah.
go in and mash the good buttons and have a good time and win a lot of games, but once you're trying to like get to a higher level and trying to master things, that's when shit gets hard.
Yeah.
Like you
If
said,
think
low
you
skill
wanna punch
floor.
people, like if you think you want to punch people, punch button pretty good. But then someone crouches and you go, oh shit, I can't punch him no more. Maybe I'll try this punch. Maybe I'll try kicking him. And you can try kicking him. Like it's not very super complex.
Yeah.
You just come up with something, and then 9 times out of 10 you'll figure it out from there.
Mhm.
And then eventually you get into the depths of it, and you're like, okay, cool. There is a lot of intricacy to this.
Right.
But bare bones basic, I can get into it pretty fucking easy. It took me, like I said, I made it to red ranks in like what was it, 20 hours, 25 hours,
Yeah,
something like
you
that.
did it really quickly.
Like I was trying to learn the game. I was trying to like understand it fully. If I didn't want to do that and I just played for funsies, it would have probably taken me longer. But it's not like I wouldn't have been able to, play Tekken, right?
Yeah.
I would have still known what I was doing.
Nice. Last thing, and this is a very basic question, and I don't know what kind of conversation it'll bring up. Is Tekken good? You guys like Tekken?
No
I'm
comment.
actually-
Turn it off. That's it. It's the end. Turn it off.
I'm actually uninstalling as we speak.
Fuck. Okay, well. That was funny.
Fun fact, it's called corner combo, and Devin does not know how to corner combo in Tekken. How ironic.
True. That's why you don't like it, and that's why you're no longer a part of the.
That's all right.
you're no
I'm
longer a
out.
part.
Yeah, that's it. Leave
All right.
server.
Bye.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Bye.
Oh my god.